Hi, and welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please click the button. Today I'm going to be installing new spark plugs in the Mini Cooper. The Mini Cooper is a 2015 Mini Cooper S. I am using the NGK 94201, which is the OEM spark plug for the Mini Cooper in the OEM heat range. These are laser iridium spark plug. These are about $25 from most of the local stores a piece. So, you know, if you go to AutoZone or O'Reilly's, it's about 25 bucks a piece. It's like $100 for 4 spark plugs. FCP Euro has them for $16.96. So it's like 80 bucks, or sorry, 70 bucks plus shipping. I went to O'Reilly's and they actually matched FCP. So I was able to get them for the same price. Maybe yours will too. These are supposed to be done at 60,000 miles, regardless of the Mini Cooper. If it's an S or a John Cooper Works or a regular version, they're all supposed to have the spark plugs done at 60,000 miles. I don't know how bad they look, but I do know that it idles a little rough when it first starts up when it's got a cold engine. Other tools that we're going to need for this, these spark plugs use a 14mm 12-point spline. They're not a standard, 3/8 or like you would expect, and this is a 5/8. So you need a 14mm 12-point socket. It looks like this. These are available on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. They're about 10 bucks. This one's magnetic, so it actually holds onto the spark plug pretty well. These are the same. I think I used this when I did the spark plugs in the Volkswagen. So Volkswagen uses this as well. So it's a nice tool to have regardless. You'll also need an E8, which is an external Torx socket. It's a 6-point socket, but it's an E8 is the size. So the first thing we want to do is open the hood, which I've already done. There's a cover on top of the engine. So this Mini Cooper is an S, which means it has the B40 engine. And here are coils. So the spark plugs are going to be underneath these coils. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There's a piece of foam here that I believe just pulls out. Yeah, it's just kind of jammed in there. I don't know that I need to get it all the way out. I think I just need to move it out of the way enough. So I'll grab the external Torx here, and we'll remove these coils. So I'll just kind of break these loose. You're probably also going to want to have a right angle pick or a curved point pick to be able to remove these plugs from the tops of the coils. So unscrew that, unscrew that, unscrew that. Okay, and these screws appear to be retained inside the coils, so you can't remove them fully, but you can actually pop the coils out of the way while still leaving them attached to the wire harness, so that's pretty easy. Let's see if we can do that with all 4 of them. Leaving the wire harness connected is actually nice because it makes sure that you put the coils back in the position that they were originally in. So we can just take them out and kind of set them here on the engine in the order that they were put in. So you're going to want your 14mm socket on a decent size extension. I'm using, I think it's like an 8-inch extension. And normally what I do is just kind of break them loose with a 3/8 ratchet, and then I'll remove them by hand. So just kind of get it loose, and then spin it out by hand. There we go. And we can see that this is worn down pretty good. It is a turbo car, so they do get worn down pretty well. So we'll change these one at a time just to keep us from having open holes in the top of the engine for too long. Really, we should be gapping these. These are factory gapped from NGK. You can check the gap with a feeler gauge if you'd like to. I already checked these. I'll post in the description what the distances that they're supposed to be from the factory. I always start spark plugs by hand and get them as tight as I can. That just ensures that I don't cross thread them and then end up stripping the engine head, or hopefully the spark plug, but in some cases the engine head. So got that in. We're going to give it a little bit of a turn, and that one's nice and tight. So then we'll go on to the next one. Kind of same deal. Break it loose, loosen it up. Okay. The magnetic socket, again, is really nice for taking these out. If the socket that you have is not magnetic, you can use a magnetic stick to pull these out. They are magnetic on top, or they are a metal on top that is magnetic. So there we are. Second plug. Again, start it by hand. So we're going to install our coils back on the plugs that they came off of, one at a time. Just push the coils firmly down on the plugs, and then we can start the screws by hand. And repeat with the other 3 coils. Once all 3 are installed, you can tighten down the bolts with your external Torx. Then we can reinstall our piece of foam. And we can push our engine cover on, taking note of the positions where it mates to the top of the engine. Push the cover firmly into place. And we're all done. Now we can put the tools away and start it and see how it runs.